Start now. Good evening, everyone. My name is Father Ammonius Gergis. I am one of the 8 priests who serve this parish here. I would like to welcome each and every one of you in the 2nd annual Ringing Christmas Bell Concert. First, to have the right start for this blessed evening, I would like to invite you to stand up for prayer, please. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord bless us, Amen. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for assembling us, all of us here in this holy place. You have bestowed many good talents upon your people, and some of them, they mastered how to praise you by ringing the bells. And as in the early church, everyone praised you with one accord. And even the word concert, it means that we are going to do things in harmony. So strengthen the bond of fellowship that unites us together, and help us to use all our talents to the glory of your name. And we ask you, Lord, that you give us an enjoyable and blessed evening by your presence in our midst as we praise you. Hear us as we join together saying, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Through Christ Jesus our Lord, kingdom, power, the glory forever and ever. Amen. You may be seated. Now, because of my poor musical knowledge, I'm going to turn over the microphone now to our MC. She's a gifted MC. You will see for yourself, very lighthearted, very entertaining. She's a very blessed lady. We thank her for being with us. I'm going to turn now this event to the hands of Carolyn Martin. Thank you.
He's taller than I am. All right. We practiced saying each other's names. Father practiced Carolyn Martin, and I practice Ammonius Gurkis. So we are now friends, right? Welcome you all here. We are really glad to see you. Thank you for coming. We have Seventh-day Adventists, Coptic Orthodox, United Church, Chinese Alliance Church, Baptist, and last but not least, Anglican. We are all from different backgrounds, but we all have a common love of ringing bells. A word about our conductor that you will see up there in a minute. His name is J.C. Coolin. There's a nice little talk about him in your program. He's been ringing for about 27 years and directing for 19. Actually, J.C., that's less than me, but that's okay. That's good. He is the president of the Ontario Guild of English Handbell Ringers. And what that is an umbrella group over all the handbell choirs in Ontario, called the Ontario Guild. And we begin our program with an original composition written for bells by Michael Joy, and it's called Clarion Call. JC? That was great. When we came here today, there's a lot of getting used to the space that you're in. And if this is your cathedral, then you know what the sound sounds like. For some of us who haven't been here before, it was a little daunting to hear our sound come back on us. So I want to show you a little something about bells before we have our first solo, but Cheryl, you go ahead and get ready. I'm going to show you the biggest bell we have here today, and that is the low C. Right, and you're going to ring it for us if you would. Here we go. So that's the lowest and the biggest bell. And if she dropped it and we had to replace it, it would be over $1,000. One bell. Cheryl, are you all set? Well, this is Cheryl McFarlane, and I have a very interesting talk about her. She and her group, the Jubilate Junior Youth Handbell group, she said about her kids, they're from 13 to 18. I hope this is still all true, Cheryl. They're compassionate. They're intelligent. You still with me? They're multi-talented. They're fun-loving young adults. And they're leaders in their church and schools, and obviously you're proud of them. Then comes the description of herself. A self-professed, out-of-control, handbell-loving, ringing junkie since holding her first bell 7 years ago. She belongs to any organization to do with handbells that she can find. And they are playing for us today a well-known piece, Carol of the Bells. Great job. Now back to our masked conductor. You notice he moved from the podium down there and he came right up here because now he's going to play with his handbell choir, the Bells of Bowmanville, from the Bowmanville Seventh-day Adventist Church. In 1994, which seems so long ago to some of the young people here, two enterprising church members organized the purchase of 2 octaves of Malmark bells. And since that time, they've built it up to 4 octaves. They regularly participate in worship at their own church and sometimes go out to perform too. JC's directed the Bells of Bowmanville since 1998. The piece they're going to play, the first one is called, and they mix in together, but the first one is Love Came Down at Christmas. And it's an Irish melody. And then Of the Father's Love Begotten, a 13th century plain chant. JC, take it away. I'm going to move as I talk a little bit, because next thing we're going to do is sing some carols. That is, you are going to sing the carols. Okay, do I have a lot of good singers here? Could I see just a few smiles? Thank you, I'm checking for smiles. Good, that's good. The most daunting thing when you're a performer is to be up here, looking out here, and to see all these serious people. It's really quite scary, quite scary. So if you'll just smile whenever anyone's doing anything here, that'll be great. Now, I have a bum knee. You know what that means? If Nageti doesn't hold my hand as we're going up here, I may crash and burn. Okay? Here we go. Thank you. Thanks, Nageti. All right, the first one we're going to do is Angels from the Realms of Glory. For this one, the bells are going to play. You're going to sing right along. For the next one, the bells will not play, but they will sing heartily. Right? Yes, good. All right, I think I'll have you stand. Do you need a little bit of a stretch for Angels from? Sure, stand up. Great. Everybody looks so nice when I'm looking this way. Wow, I get to sit back there. I didn't see you before. You look terrific. Wonderful. JC is on the piano way back there on the keyboard, so he'll keep us in check. All right, JC. Stopped you too soon after the second verse, but you were great and went right on. Please be seated. So nice to have gentlemen around here. It really is, and we have a lot of them. I'll just say one word about not the group that's standing, but a group that is not playing a solo today. And they came to us from St. Andrews, and it's their first time here. And you can just stand up and wave, the three of you. You brave people who are not doing a solo this time, but there they are. I'm sure next time they'll be here with a wonderful solo prepared for us. All right, now let me see who we do have here. The Jubilate Ringers from Scarborough Chinese Alliance Church, founded in 2011. Priscilla Lee, their director, describes herself as a choir director, a hymn translator, and an organist. And she said, our vision is to proclaim the gospel through beautiful handbell music. Besides performing at their own church, they also take their music to seniors' homes and malls and schools and churches. They're excited to share a lovely piece that you all know, Amazing Grace, and it was arranged by a composer, Cynthia Dobrinsky, who was one of our directors at an Ontario Guild Festival, and she's a wonderful lady. But in this, I have a little job for you while you're listening to this solo, because you will follow the verses very well. You'll know exactly when it's Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, you'll know that. But I want to see if you can hear the change in the music when the words would be dangers, toils, and snares. Because if you listen carefully, the music will change really a lot, and you will know that that's the danger part and the toil part. All right, Scarborough Alliance Chinese Church, thank you very much for being here. Off you go with Amazing Grace. Now, I can't ask you to go back, but how many would you raise your hand if you actually heard the difference in the music when it was about toils and dangers? Would you put up your hand? Way to go, because that's what any composer hopes that you hear. They write the music for a reason and for you to get a certain impression. And that piece shows it really clearly when the music changes and the thought of the song changes totally. So good job. Next we have Markham Chinese Baptist Church. And you can stand up, kids, I'm going to talk about you. Last year at this time, their director, Catherine Leung, was not directing these children here, this youth. She was sitting in the audience. And hopefully, Catherine had such a good impression. She said, I want to be part of that next year. And here she is with a wonderful group of youth for the first time at this cathedral. And she's the music director at her church. And they got bells in 2007. And they now ring 4 octaves of Malmark bells. And you're going to hear hand chimes in this piece too. They perform at their church, other churches, seniors' places, and they did a TV program too. I think, was it called Showers of Blessings? Is that right? Great, that's super. They usually start as beginner ringers, don't we all? That's where we start, beginner ringers, and then they get to be in the big group. And these kids are, I don't know, what is their experience, Catherine? How many years? 2, 3, 4? 3 to 8. Fantastic. Okay. They are going to play for us, O Holy Child of Bethlehem. That was well done. We're so glad you decided to come and join us this year. That's terrific. All right, now we have something rather special. Not that the rest of us aren't special, but this person plays bells all by herself. She's what we call a soloist. And she's going to play, how many do you have there, Heather? 3 octaves or?
More.
Oh, she has more she's bringing. I think it's really cool that her hair matches her dress. Did you notice that? Purple hair, purple dress. Great job. Heather Nicholson. She first picked up handbells in 1992, and she rang her first solo on Christmas Eve. What a special time to ring a first solo, 1997. There's lots about her in the program if you'd like to read more, but I like the part where she says she's played in a barn, she's played in a castle, she's played at the top of the CN Tower and on a cruise ship. She's taught lots of workshops at festivals, lots of workshops. She's really good at what she does. And Heather was featured on her own kids program on CBC, Raspberry Jazzberry Jam. What a sound, what a name. Now, what she's doing now is hanging up bells. We just join them through their handle. And so we have what's called a bell. All right, I'm going to ask all the ringers to fill it in. She has a bell tree. A bell tree. All right, that's what we call it when we do that together. She'll be playing that after she plays the main tune part on the bells here. She's going to tell me when she's ready, because it's really awful if I stop talking too soon, because then it's just poor Heather has to be ready in a hurry. JC is going to accompany her. Thank you very much. And she combines ringing and dance. So you're going to see her move a bit more than we do when we're ringing down here. All right. Symphonia on Hyfrydal, which is a tune name for a hymn you might know called Come Thou Long Expected Jesus. Heather. That is what some handbell ringers aspire to, and only a few choose to try to be soloists. Sometimes they do duets, trios, but solo ringing is really tough, really tough. Did I choose the wrong way to come, Nageti? Yes, I did. It's okay. I get to see all these children that are going to smile at me. Yes, lovely. Are you from St. Mark's by any chance? Wonderful, wonderful. That's great. So you're watching Nageti right here. He's my guy, but I think he's really your guy too. Is he? Okay, I'll tell you later why he's my guy. Because my husband's here, so I have to be careful what I say. All right. Nageti, thank you once again. Thank you, thank you. All right. You're going to sing again. Did you guess that by the fact that I'm out here again? Yes, you knew. Good, I'm glad to see. Now you're taking part. When you nod when somebody says, and when you look up and smile, it's just fantastic. Thank you very much. Because did you know that you feed us? All right? We are performing for you, but it's so important what you give back. And you give back with smiles, with claps, with whatever. But you truly are making us feel good about being here too. So I thank you for that very much. And what song do you like at Christmas time that has bells in it? What one was that? See, I expected the kids to answer, but it was an adult that said Jingle Bells. So yes, we're all going to sing Jingle Bells. And the bells are not playing Jingle Bells. Isn't that funny? But they're going to ring, little ones, for you. And then from that, we're going to go into the Canadian carol that we're going to do tonight. Anybody know the name of that without looking at your program? Huron Carol, 'Twas in the Moon of Wintertime. Right. So let's start with Jingle Bells. All the bell ringers up. You got your special bells there. Could we practice that for a moment? Watch this. We have to practice ringing our bells. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. You really can't make a mistake doing that, can you? That's wonderful. Not quite as technical as what you have to do in the other pieces. All right, and you're going to stand again for Jingle Bells. If you would, please. If you're able. If you're not, and you're tired, stay sitting. We are now transitioning, and JC's going to give us time to pick up our bells for 'Twas in the Moon of Wintertime. done. You know how I know? Because you did a great pause. Yep. You did a wonderful pause. Very musically done. Nageti, where are you? Nageti. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to talk about Nageti for a bit as he gets set here, because he's very special to me in particular. So he leads the Coptic bell ringers here, all dressed in black in the front row, except for two people from my choir that are just helping out. But let me tell you about Nageti. He had the only set of English handbells in Egypt. Prior to that, to get the money to buy the bells, you know what they had to do? They got together and they used bottles and blew in the bottles, making tunes, and they would go places and play. And then finally, after a couple of years, they had enough money to buy a set of bells, and those were Nageti's. He established the St. Anthony Handbell group and played with them until he immigrated to Canada. Now, for us, that was a good thing, but he had to leave his bells behind. So he left his bells in Egypt, but when he came here, he still wanted to ring bells. So guess what? He looked on the internet, and guess who he found? He found St. John's, hooray! And he called us up and said, may I come and ring bells with your choir? And I said, absolutely, that would be really cool. And so he came, and now he says he's learned a lot since he's been with us. I think he might have learned a little bit, but he's been a wonderful guy to have in the group. So he settled in Toronto and started the first team at St. Mark's in 2004. Right, Nageti? 2004. They've got beginners, grades 4, 5, and 6, and some advanced ones. I have a feeling these are a few of the older ones here today. Are they, Nageti? All right. So Nageti and his family are very involved, more than just in music. They provide food, along with many other people from this church, and they do service to the needy in downtown Toronto. So the choir that Nageti's in at my church, we practice on Sunday mornings at about 11:45. And very often he has to leave early. Not because he's, going out to the movies or having lunch with his wife, but because he's taking food downtown to those less fortunate than the rest of us here today. So I'm really proud of Nageti and his family. His two girls were both in my choir over the years. And they're just great people. And now they are going to play. Oh, do you know the song where you're missing your front two? What are you missing? Kids, oh, you know that, right? Sometime in your life, you're missing your front two teeth. And so instead of whistling, you go, and that's all you can say. So Nageti and the St. Mark's Handbell Choir with All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth. Way to go, Nageti. I'm sorry, I'm on the move again, but that's only because it's our solo next. Did I ask you? Oh, yes, there's that nice young man that I told him I had to stand right beside him, but he said that was all right. Right? You still feel the same way? Good. Okay. So, I'm going to put my binder up here. Aren't you glad this is like an informal kind of concert? It is. So, I have some kids behind me that most of the time are just terrific. Sometimes they add to my gray hair. Now, I get it covered up once a month, but sometimes they do add to that. But they are good kids, great kids. I love working with youth because, believe it or not, except for the gray hairs, it makes you young. It helps to keep you young. I love to have kids. So these are the Rockin' Ringers, they're called. We have 3 handbell choirs at our church, and these are the youngest. All right, and they're going to smile, and we're going to play for you Jingle Bell Rock. I'm going to ask this young man to hold this for me. Just great. And then, of course, they make you very proud. And you say, oh my gosh, the practice actually helped. They were listening, and they did a great job. So it's so great to see young people at this evening that we have here. Really great. Oh gosh, not that I don't like older people, but it is wonderful because handbell ringing and all that, if you think it's only for older people, we need young people coming up in the ranks to fill all those. Oh, well, look at this. I've got a lot of future handbell ringers for St. Mark's Coptic Church, right? Some of you are going to be ringers sometime? I hope so. That will be wonderful. So now I actually get to shake shakers here for our second to last piece. And JC's going to direct it. And we have some percussion. So I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Manny's son, and I'm playing the bongos.
I'm Helen Simonoff, and I'm playing the claves.
I'm Carolyn Martin, and I'm getting to shake, shake, shake these shakers here. We have one piece left to play, but before we do, I have a lot of thank yous to say. And I just hope I get them all in and don't miss anybody out, that's for sure. We are so thankful. Number one on the list is you, our audience. We are so pleased to have all of you here tonight. It's Saturday night. I mean, I guess you could be out dancing or something, I don't know, but you're here. You're at St. Mark's and you're listening to handbells, and that says a lot. So thank you. Thank you to all the parents and grandparents, and thank you to the fathers from the cathedral who are here. That's just wonderful. And we are so glad to have this magnificent place to come and play. Really magnificent. I don't know if you got a tour, but everything here means something. Even the all the inscriptions and the things, the diagrams on the lights. Nageti has explained this to me. If you see someone that's from this church, please ask them. Just say, what does that mean? Why do you have that there? Because I assure you, everything means something here. JC, we want to thank you very much for being our conductor who pulled 6 choirs together. It's not easy when you have all different directors. They all teach the same music, but believe it or not, it can sound different every time. And so JC gets up there and says, oh, brother, okay, folks, now we all have to play like we're one choir. And that is not an easy thing to do. So, JC, thank you for pulling us together. And, of course, thank you. I am going to stand here beside Nageti because he is a very important person in this church, because he directs the bells, because he helps others, because he and his family work hard in this church, because he's a really good and faithful bell ringer in my choir, and that is fantastic. He doesn't have to come all the time to St. John's, but he does. And he plays in different places. We'll be down at St. Michael's College, and he'll be playing with a bunch of young people. He's a good man, a really good man, and I'm so glad that we have you. So, it's not all Nageti that has put this together, but he's a big part of it. But then you've got scouts, and you've got all those wonderful ladies down in the basement cooking us dinner and having snacks for us and drinks, and just so happy to see us. Like, it's really wonderful to be welcomed so well by this church. That's really important. So you've got it down pretty well, I'll tell you, the welcoming bit. That's really good. And they've got this huge kitchen downstairs. It's like a restaurant kitchen. It's so fantastic. You should go down after just to see it, actually. But there'll be some snacks afterwards. After our final piece, there will be snacks out in the foyer, again, prepared by the people of St. Mark's. And I really hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. This is the last you'll hear of me. I'm going to turn it over to Nageti after our final piece. So I do thank you so much for coming. Thank you to all the bell ringers and their directors, and thank you to you, the audience. And please have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, and please think of others. Please think of others. I love you. There you go, JC.
After you hear all the thank you from everybody and you heard lots of stories about me, so actually I would like to thank all the team that they came. If you look behind me, these teams came from Bowmanville, from Coburg, from Richmond Hill, from Markham, from Scarborough, like all over the place. Just they came today to do this festival with all of us, to give us the joy and the happiness of the season. We start the season with all this music. So I would like to thank the director. Please, Cheryl, Priscilla, Catherine, Helen, please, come in, please. Helen, Priscilla, and Cheryl. Thank you so much. And then next, I would like to tell you a small story before I announce the next one. As every time I go to the Facebook, I would like to put a post about the bringing Christmas. Okay, I found someone else just jumped before me and did it. So I said, it's 2 weeks to the concert. Let's put post. I go to the website and then I Facebook, and then there is a post already there. So I share it. 2 days ago, I would like to do another post. Let everybody, it's 2 days coming. Another post then. Same person, okay? This morning, I woke up like 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, no. This time, I'll do it first. I found the same person, put a post there, inviting everybody to the concert, okay? And the same person is the one give us lots of happiness today, which is, where's Heather? Heather? Hey, come in. Heather was so into it. Like, Heather, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your attendance today and for the wonderful performance you did for us and all you did for to make this concert together with us. Thank you so much. So there is another person I would like to thank, which she put lots of effort today. You heard her a lot today, and really I owe her a lot. She taught me everything I know about bells. When I came in here 14 years ago, I know a little bit about bells, but I didn't know a lot. Now, as you see me, I go everywhere. I play, I conduct, I do everything. Even at the setup and everything I learned from this. Carolyn, thank you so much. And thank you for putting all together. Thank you. And at the end, I would like to thank the guy who put all the music together, spent hours and hours, emails, thinking about it, discussing every detail to get it to this wonderful festival that we started last year and we did again this year, and I hope to come for more years and years and years to have the joy and happiness together. JC. Hey, JC, thank you so much.
Hi, hello. Hi.
My daughter, and she would like to thank me for all I'm doing to the team.
Okay, chill. So I'm Maria Vignata. I'm his daughter. I just wanted to give a big shout out to my dad. He doesn't really want to take any, of the rewards or anything, but he's been here since this morning. He's been here all week. There is a present for you, don't worry. There is a present. He's been here all week setting up the stage, setting up the bells, emailing everyone, getting the tickets together. So I'd just like to give my dad a big thank you and a round of applause if you guys will. Thank you, Dad. And then...
And thank you guys for coming. Sorry, I don't have a gift for everybody in here. I wish I have. Okay, but at least please join us if you'd like to come out here to look at the bells with us. Would like to share some comments with us, that would be fantastic. If not, we'll see you outside. Around that, we have some snack and some drinks so we can have chat, and we welcome everybody. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful season and safe drive home. Thank you. Sorry, all the ringers, please, can you stay in your position? We're going to take a picture, okay, please? All the ringers, please stay in your position. We're going to take a picture.